Hi, lovely people. Viv going live from York. Um, this live idea came about because I did an essential oils fair on Sunday, the Bridlington Vegan Fair. If you ever get a chance to go, go because it's amazing. Always full of lovely people and great stalls. I bought some good stuff. Um, but I always have on my stall this really nice Emotions essential oil wheel. Really colourful, really lovely. And somebody was looking at it and it was really interesting. Hi guys. And this side, I don't know because this is all backwards, but it says they're positive emotions. And on this side it says negative. So, and somebody commented on that and got quite annoyed, which I totally understand, absolutely fine. Because she pointed out, quite rightly, that there are no such things as negative emotions and positive emotions. There's just emotions. There aren't good or bad. And I can see what she meant. So we had quite an interesting discussion about it. And I'm actually thinking of blocking those out, to be honest, because they don't need to be on there. It's just a thing. So I'm thinking because I take this thing to a fair, I could actually cover that up and say it's mine and then maybe put something on the other side. But it got me thinking about language and how we get used to using certain words and all stuff like that. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a live about language. So why would people get annoyed about there being like positive emotions or negative emotions? And it's because we've got this idea that positive things are good and negative things are bad. But actually what I think this is trying to say is if you're feeling fearful, then obviously that's something that's showing you something and you need to know what you're scared of. But if that emotion takes over so that you can't actually do anything and it's stopping you doing stuff, then obviously this wheel is going to say, you know, if you're fearing that because you're feeling like hiding, then they're saying lavender. If you've got anxiety issues, then there's a reassuring blend, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't see it the same way this woman did, but it was really interesting having a discussion about that. I totally agree with her. I don't think anger or fear or feeling numb or sadness are negative. They're just emotions. You need to feel them and you need to work out why you're feeling them and then you need to move on from them. But it did make me think, because there's so many pervasive things like this that have like good and bad, like we've got good food and bad food. This is a conversation I very often have with my daughter. Food's just food. Now, there are things that are slightly more unhealthy than other things, obviously, and there's some things that people don't want to eat. But do we really want to get into the good and the bad and the totally healthy and the totally unhealthy? Because trends change. So what seems to be healthy one day suddenly isn't. So all fruit is seen to be, you'd think that most fruits were healthy, but actually in this country some people would say that we shouldn't be eating stuff that doesn't grow here. It should all be seasonal. So it's really interesting to start thinking about how do you use language. I know that when I first started doing these lives, I was asked by one of my friends, or told off by one of my friends, to stop using the word guys. She didn't like it. And I can understand that because it is a word that means people, but actually its roots are meaning males, so it's dismissing like half the population. So yeah, and then another thing that got me thinking was my kids, whilst I was at the vegan fair, they got me a present from Comic-Con in York, another really good place if you want to go. I was a bit upset that I missed it, to be honest. And just shows you what my kids think about me. So they got me a placemat, and it says, "I would like to apologise to anyone I have not offended. Please be patient, I will get to you shortly." And that's because both my children know that I don't take offence. I think it's a totally empty thing that has no meaning, because the emotions underneath that, offence isn't an emotion, it's not a feeling. There are feelings underneath taking offence. And you're either assuming that somebody is doing it on purpose and actually you should probably be getting angry or wanting to have a conversation with that person, or that person hasn't meant to do something that you've found upsetting or whatever emotion it is, and therefore you're putting something on them that they didn't intend. So it's just like a get out clause that you can say, "I've taken offence," and it's like, well, what does that even mean? Can you explain what is underneath that thing? So I thought I'd repost my blog post about not taking offence because it's totally pointless. And again, looking at the emotions below that, so this is sort of turned into more of an emotional thing than not. And then a couple of weeks ago I went on a weekend away, and I got angry about something that happened on that weekend. And it got me thinking again about why we use the words we use, and maybe I should be more aware of the words that I use and the things that I do automatically without thinking about it, and what that could actually mean to somebody else. So it just got me thinking, but I thought I'd share a poem I wrote about that weekend. And it's about sort of words and defining things and how that can stop someone being truly themselves. So I just thought I'd share. So it's called Circles. I am me, a mix of this and that, for there is no paradigm of human being. I am them, I am her, I am him, a mixture of up and down, spiralling. Do not box me in. Confine me, define me by some closed-off, shut-down speaking. There is no defining me. My gifts are my defining and divining. They are mine to find, to give, to share, not backed by him or they or her. My body has no shape that limits my giving. My mind has no constrictions other than by the limiting of boxes, of collections, sharp edges, restrictions. The defining offers no advantages to me. By boxing in, there is conflict, opportunity. Them versus us, pronoun versus pronoun, unseen measures deep in the psyche, us versus them, political correct madness, a stick to beat them, her, him, me. Language and boxes, sharp edges and corners. If it doesn't unite us, we all end up mourners. So again, just a thing about how language, when you start defining who someone is, or what emotions are good or bad, or what food is good or bad, and whether you should take offence because what somebody has said obviously was they were going out of their way to upset you, even though offence isn't an emotion. I just thought it got me thinking, and I thought I'd share my thoughts with everyone. If you found this interesting, then feel free to share with anybody. If you're watching on replay, it'd be nice to know that you're watching on replay. And yes, next week I'm doing an essential oils class in Bridlington to fit in with the vegan thing I've just been on. So I'll either be going live earlier, or I might go live during the day and then repost it later on in the evening. But I won't be going live at 8 because I'll be in the middle of telling everybody the amazing benefits of essential oils. Okay, take care. Bye.